of all, define the context that you're talking about. And it needs to be a very practical context. And then you need to have a group of people who have experienced that context. So say, coming back to the example of the school in Tanzania, say you wanted to evaluate whether the students had respect. You would gather together some of the teachers, maybe some of the students, maybe some of the governors, some of the parents. You'd get a little group of people together who'd all experienced that school. And without that shared experience, it wouldn't mean anything. But when you've got those people together who share that experience, what you can do is build a shared understanding of what that word means. And so this is how you actually go about building shared understanding of a value in order to try and get to indicators. So you've got the word. You've got this is just an example, justice. It could be any value, but this is an example of how you would create indicators of justice. You can't do them for all people for all time. So I couldn't say to you, justice is ABC, and then everybody has to go with that. But you've got the word, and you've got a group of people who will associate various things with this word. So if I say to you justice, then it will trigger certain things in your mind. There are certain experiences that you can think of from your past where justice might have been done or where it hasn't. You might be able to think about how people would behave if they were being just. You might think about systems that could be set up to make people practice justice more. You might think about the justice system in Canada or the US or in the UK or wherever, or in Tanzania or in Australia. And so people will have different ideas about what justice means and different things that they associate with it. And then this is the crucial part. This is what's really important, is genuine dialogue within that practical context. And genuine dialogue isn't as easy as it looks, because it's very easy to have a monologue, but to dress it up as dialogue, you're kind of talking at people, which I seem to be doing a lot. I'm talking a lot at you. I'm not listening to you. But, but there's this idea of genuine dialogue as being something that involves listening. It involves trying to relate to the other person and empathize with them and really see where they're coming from. And it's within that shared practical context. And so it's not about, oh, well, I think this, therefore everybody has to listen to me. But it's about trying to see what emerges together when you put all of the ideas on the table and just play with them. And so it's about seeing what comes out of the group that's more powerful than any individual could have come up with. And what comes out when you have this kind of process, and when people are really listening to each other and respecting each other's opinions, you can come up with a shared working definition of justice for that context. Again, if we're talking about the school in Tanzania, it's only what does justice look like in this school. It's not what does justice look like in the International Criminal Court.
Absolutely.
It's what would it look like here. So what would the students be doing? What would the school be doing? And these are just some examples of values-based indicators that we've created through our project. And these ones are still in kind of a rough form, because these are not measurable exactly as they are. But you can turn them into measurable indicators.
Okay.
And so we can think of them as like prototypes of indicators, or proto-indicators we call them sometimes. They're things that kind of point the way towards indicators. And then from there, again, through this process of dialogue, I should have put this same arrow again, because it's the same process that actually gets these to these measurable indicators. And so you can create an indicator that says, what is the percentage of people who feel that their opinions are respected in this school? And then that, if you've gone through this whole process, that could be an indicator of justice. So that's how I can see that you can get past this idea of everybody having different ideas, different opinions. The way to do it is through this genuine dialogue within a shared practical context.
And it would be unique to each context and each project and each design, obviously.
That's right. But then what we're suggesting is that there would also be some commonalities. And so it might be possible, for example, if you had a donor that funded a lot of projects, and in fact we have seen this in Mexico. We worked with a big organization that funded maybe 40 or so grassroots projects. And so the donor, the staff went through this whole process of developing indicators. And so the staff of the donor organization said, this is what we want to see in our projects. And so we want people to do this, 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 and that. And then they took those indicators to the projects and used them to evaluate them.